Hope to see you soon on Fishbowl Radio Network. Jump in.
Welcome to the Beyond the Gay podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. It's Thursday, July 16, 2026. I hope everyone's doing well out there. I know we're here on a Thursday, so we're not used to this Thursday. No. But it's okay. It's okay. You know what? We're here. We're trying to make things work. So let's recap. Let's start with these 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 things that's going on in the summer league, man. So let's start with Tyler Hero versus Bam Adebayo. That's number one. So apparently the media has nothing to do these days. This was reported last week between Hero and Adebayo getting into it during a shoot around at a summer league game between the Bucks and the Hawks. Not Hawks, excuse me, the Heat. And to me, this is not news. What are we doing here in 2026? You got two guys that were former teammates of the Miami Heat, and some words were being said online by Tyler. Bam didn't like it, so Bam took matters into his own hands. Don't make comparisons to Draymond and Jordan Poole because it's not the comparisons. That happened at practice. This was a mini shoot around where Tyler's got to get his shot up, Bam's got to get his shot up. This is not news. This is two guys that one was frustrated, the other one wasn't trying to make a big deal of it, which was Hero. So to me, this is just basketball. This is basketball at its finest because when you're talked about online, especially in these days, you're gonna take matters into your own hands, and that's what Bam did. Not the best way to do it, but you took matters into your own hands in your way where your reputation is shot. People don't want to paint the picture of Bam Adebayo being this bad guy. Tyler is not a bad guy either. It's just two guys. One was upset that day, and the other was not. And this is all basketball. If you grew up playing, someone talked mess about you, you either took matters to your own hands or you just ignore it. And then they never made it about news. We never heard this until last week, where Shams' dumbass went to Vegas and reported this. This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. This is two guys having a conversation. One was upset, one was not. And it could have been settled a different way? Yes. But apparently, the media wants to hype up this thing and wants the NBA to do something about it. No. The NBA came out today. They're not going to do anything about it. They don't want to. They're saying hands off. We don't want anything to do with this. It's between Bam and Tyler. It wasn't in a place of business. It was just at a random day. So why in the world that people are reporting this, I don't know. Maybe you don't have anything else to report about. Maybe, LeBron hasn't chosen a team yet. Maybe, the guys in the summer league are not performing well you're supposed to perform at. When you're in Vegas, it's all about the younger guys. It's not about Bam and Tyler. That's an irrelevant story. Let those guys settle it out privately. And they will. Or maybe they have. But this is supposed to be about the young guys going to the NBA, going to make a difference in the league so that we don't have to worry about this foolishness that Tyler and Bam created. So I don't know. I don't know why this was stupid. This was stupid from the start. You had Sham in Vegas reported on something that two guys could have settled it. We don't allow guys to settle these things these days. We want to hype it up. Let them let them settle it. Let them, get together and be like, hey, I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Move on. Then you get to number 2, the future of the league. So no longer we will see AJ DeBonska and Darren Peterson. Both of those guys produce well in the summer league. So their coaches said, we don't want to see you anymore. Well, we don't want to. we want to see you in the building, but we don't want to see you. We don't want to play. We don't want to play you anymore. So, when they played against each other, it was a battle of number 1. Darren Patterson had 24 points. He turned the ball over 8 times. AJ DeBunska looks like he's NBA ready. 27 points and 7 rebounds. Rookie of the year, between both of them as rookie of the year candidates, in when the season starts, we're excited to see what Darren Patterson can bring to the Utah Jazz. Can they bring a winning environment? That's the thing. Darren Patterson, he's an interesting guy. He's got to play 82 games. AJ DeBunska's got to play 82 games as well, unless there's injury. Now, let me tell you about the comparisons between both of these teams. All right, let's start with Darren Patterson. Darren Patterson, a great jump shot. I think he performed well in the summer league than he did in college. That's my opinion. Being on that Utah Jazz team in the coming months will be very difficult. We don't know what we're going to get from Keontae George. Ace Bradley is going to hit, 20 years old soon. So we're trying to see where his ceiling is in the NBA. The Jazz are going full rebuild. Darren Patterson's the number 1 guy on their team. Now, how long he stays, that's up to him. But 82 games is not a lot for these guys. Well, it's not a lot for these younger guys, because if your goal is to play all 82 games healthy, that's a great goal to have. And I hope he does. I hope he plays 82 games, and I hope that he wins Rookie of the Year. We'll see. Now, AJ DeBunska, he has a little bit of a difficult task. Well, actually, it's not that difficult, because you're on the Wizards. You're on one of the worst franchises in American history. You just signed Trae Young to a massive contract. Anthony Davis could sign his soon, but they're talking. The rumor is he may not have Anthony Davis. That team needs Anthony Davis. Like, you can't be this stupid and allow him to walk or trade him. You can't be this stupid. AJ needs Anthony Davis to patrol the middle. That way, he can get his shots off. He can be effective that way. So, I would say right now, I'm saying this on July 16th, because again, both of those guys, their summer is done. I don't know why in this era of the summer league, where we're talking about guys being done on July 16th. They haven't played since March. AJ went out in the second round for BYU. Darren Patterson, I think he went out in the second round as well. But they haven't played. Like I said, they haven't played meaningful basketball since March. So what? That's like 4 months. They should. That's ridiculous. It's going to change. It's going to change anytime a young guy comes to the league. They're going to be resting on mid-July, because we said we've seen enough. We want to play this young. We want to play these other guys that will try to make this roster, or maybe their G League roster. It remains to be seen. So I wish them well. Then you get to number 3. At this time, the Spurs, I did not get the last game going. I will watch the last game of their unless there is a playoff game for them in the Summer League. I will watch that game tonight and tomorrow so that I can get a good glimpse of where the Spurs are in the summer league. So the Spurs are right now they're 2-1. They're turning the ball over 50 turnovers in 3 games. That's a lot of turnovers. A lot of turnovers for guys that have never played with each other. Carter Bryant and Terrence Reed Jr. are done for the summer. I think Carter Bryant did his work in this summer more than in the NBA Finals because I think the Finals was too much for him. I disagree with what Corey Alexander said in the broadcast that he did his work in the NBA Finals. I don't think he did much because he was in and out of the lineup. He didn't start, but he came off the bench. He produced a little bit, but not a whole lot. Again, the NBA Finals is a big moment. So Carter Bryant wanted to play, wanted to see what he can do. I think he did well, considering the fact that he needed to grow up a little bit. He needed to get himself together, and which he did. I like the fact that he turned to a pro. He grew up. He grew up in this stage. So now we got a nearly 21-year-old kid that is ready. Is ready for his role to be amped up. We got to work on shot selections. Again, when you get to the summer league, these guys have poor shot selections. They catch the ball from the 3-point line. They think they're 3-point shooters, and they're clanking them like crazy. They're clanking jump shots like crazy. Just be patient. Let the game come. And then guys have to make their living. They gotta make a chance. They gotta make their names known. The names I'm looking at right now is R.J. Davis. That's the son of Hubert Davis. So I'm not saying there's not a roster spot for him. There's a roster spot for him in the future, but not right now. I'll be surprised if they give him a 2-way contract. So, small storylines is Wemby signs his 5-year, $52 million contract. So up until 28 years old, he'll be eligible for another $1 billion contract. At that time, Wemby would have already had like 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, possibly an MVP award, and then maybe 2 championships. Maybe. I'm not sure. It could be 3, it could be 4 for the Spurs. The odds are that we will win a championship in the future. Maybe next season. We'll see. Now, the drama between Jacob Toby and the Spurs. It's actually not the Spurs. It's Jacob Toby. Now, Jacob, we need to have a conversation here. Last week, his girlfriend posted that Jacob Toby was with the sister of Landry Waters. Posted pictures together, blah, 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 blah. Jacob was at the height of his career. I doubt coming into before this season started, he did a great job broadcasting the games, making his presence known. He did some WNBA games for the Valkyries, so he had to do it back and forth. And so now he's no longer employed. And I disagree with what Colin Cowherd said about legal stuff. The Spurs are always going to win this battle. Now, whatever comes wherever comes from the dark should come to light. That's what they always say. We don't know how long this affair has been going on. Like I said, Jacob was up here doing games with Sean Elliott. You're the main Spur guy, so everybody in San Antonio knows your name. And to do this, things go out. They would never fire you for cheating. They fired you because the Spurs always keep their names private. They also want to avoid conflict with Landry Waters, the player himself. I'm pretty sure Landry forgives his sister because that's family there. But also, if Landry saw Jacob in the building, they'll fight because that's their sister. That's his sister that you slept with. You're not supposed to touch players' sisters. That's what Jacob did. That's the mistake that he made. You can't put yourself like today. You can't put yourself out there in a negative light. Jacob put himself out there in the negative light to the point where it was streamlined. It reached New York. It should have never reached that level. Now you're no longer employed with the Spurs. What does that do for your career? It shouldn't shut you down of any other opportunities. To me, I view this as a lesson because you always want to keep your stuff private. Everybody says, "Oh, he got fired for cheating." They were not in the world of work. They will never fire you for cheating. They will fire you for going viral because they don't want their name out there. The Spurs do not want their negative light out there. We just came off one of the worst championship performances of all time. We're trying to recover from it. And this fool wants to go out there and cheat with the player's sister? Come on, we got to make it make sense. We don't want Jacob to bring up legal stuff. Leave us alone. This is all you. You made your bed and you laid in it, and that's why you're no longer employed with the Spurs. So, this shouldn't hurt him as far as the NBA goes. Maybe he gets a job in the future. If this, it dies down, people are going to bring it up. But I would never say of that person, of Jacob Toby, high caliber, hey, you should go work at Dollar General. Hey, you should go work at Kroger. Not bad jobs. I'm not saying that they're bad jobs, but I'm saying like, hey, the world would be like, hey, you can go work here. No, you have to. No, do what you want to do. We don't care. Stay out of the light. I'm not ready to give up. I'm not ready. I wish him well. I wish him nothing but best. I'm not ready to give up on Jacob Toby yet. I, if he gets another job with another team, good luck to them. I don't know who the Spurs' main broadcaster will be. Maybe Dan Weiss will move from radio to the head broadcaster. He's been there for a while, so you might as well move him up. But then again, it leaves our radio open because now Dan Weiss moves up to TV. The Spurs radio is wide open. The Spurs might go with Carl Shoney. They're not going to bring Bill Shoney out of retirement. They'll probably advance his son up. But then you got another problem on your hands. You got the UTSA broadcast, the college broadcast from men's and women's college basketball. Carl Shoney does that too. So now you're trying to find pieces to place people at. Put application out there, find the best experience out there. And those games, by the way, they're on ESPN Plus. So no chance that UTSA gets on the main gets on TV like that. Even though their women's team won the what's it called? They won the AAC tournament in 2026, excuse me. So they should get more TV opportunities. So we'll see where that goes. But Jacob did this to himself. He has every blame. There's no legal stuff. I don't know where the legal stuff will come from. So there's nothing here. Then you get to the number 4, the Mavericks Summer League. I'm looking at Morez Johnson Jr. He got 27 points and 8 rebounds against the Warriors. He looks like he's ready. He's ready for his moment. I look at the Mavericks and I'm saying to myself, the Mavericks used to be a playoff team. They used to be all around world, and now we're looking at a rebuild for the Dallas Mavericks. I just saw Derek Lively for the first time in pictures, well, excuse me, on a video, and I said that man needs another year ready to play basketball because he's not ready to play anymore. That man's 21 years old and not able to walk. I don't know how his career is going to end, but it's not looking good right now. The Mavericks always have a bad summer league team. It's like you putting players that can match up well together, and then you got to. We don't even know their coach. Like, just imagine being a summer league player. You didn't get drafted by the NBA. They pick you up. They're like, we got a new coach, we got a new assistant. Here's your coach for for the summer league, and it's not a former NBA player. It's some random dude that Dustin May hired that says, "Hey, go out there and coach." Let me talk about this about the Spurs. Carlos Williamson has never coached an NBA game. In the future, he might get his opportunity. But Carlos Williamson, they ask him, "Hey, do you want to coach Summer League?" Because they think he's on the rise. No problem. He coaches Summer League. So now it opens doors for him in the future that, hey, if you can get this going with young guys, there might be an opportunity for you to coach in the future. So you need experienced guys to coach in the summer league. I don't know this joker that the Mavericks decided to get. Hire guys that have NBA experience, have been in the video room for the NBA, that have what's it called? Front office experience. So something of that caliber. That way players will know what you're talking about. Right now, they're looking at this guy. We don't know what you're talking about. You might as well let Dusty May coach this team in the summer league and see what he can do in the NBA. If that would tell you, hey, Dusty May, you're not ready for the NBA. If he coached the summer league right now, we don't know what type of coaching May is going to bring every single day. That's the question for Mavs fans to figure that out. I'm not a Mavs fan, but I want to figure out myself what type of coach I'm going to get. Then you get to number 5, Caleb Wilson's big game. He had 35 points, 5 rebounds again last week. He could slide in to win the Rookie of the Year. I think the guy's pro ready. If he does not get hurt, there's an opportunity to win for him to slide into that third rookie spot for the Chicago Bulls, and he fits well what the Bulls are running. So right now, the Bulls they could be in the middle of the pack right now. So, I expect big things for Caleb. I want him to produce. I want him to have fun with it, so that we know what type of player are we going to get in Caleb Williams in the 2026-2027 season. Then you get to number 6, the Pelicans Summer League. You see, Jamal Mosley takes the New Orleans Pelicans job. Here's the funniest part that we saw last week. You got Jeremiah Fears. You got Trey Murphy III, which, by the way, Trey Murphy III, there's a trade rumors out there that he may be traded for 3 first round, or maybe 4 first round picks. The Pelicans will want those picks back. But I'm saying to the Pelicans, keep Trey Murphy there. Keep him. The funniest pick is like all those guys. There might be additional guys as well. All those guys signed. Then you got Zion there. All of them are in Vegas right now. trying to hype up their younger guys, which I have no problem with that. I have no problem with NBA players going to summer league, hyping up, coaching up these guys to get adjusted to NBA life. I just pointed that out because I think it was funny that we got guys in the front row that have not won anything that have not won anything that have decided that, oh well, we haven't won anything, we're just gonna take everything for stride. So God Shimgod, the former Mavericks player development coach, is coaching the Pelicans right now. So there you go. NBA experience. He was the Orlando Magic last year. Was Jamal Mosley. Now I honestly think that God will get his opportunity to coach an NBA franchise. He's been around. Every player knows him. Every coach knows him. I think in the future he will get it. Number 7, the Lakers. Man, the Lakers. Their summer league is not going. It's going okay. Again, Steven. Walker Kessler says he's healthy. We'll see where that goes. Arthur Kuluma is the player I'm looking at right now. I think it makes sense for him to make the franchise as a not as a two-way player, but as a standard NBA contract. The man came from Creighton, went to Texas last year. I think he's going to make his name in the NBA. I think honestly, if you get into the G League, play a couple of games over there, then experience the NBA call up, I think he's going to. I think honestly, he's going to have an NBA future. I think he's ready for it. Are the Lakers ready to bring him up? That is the question. So we'll see what's the Lakers. And then you get to number 8. The Warriors Summer League was Yasiel Lindenberg and LJ Cryer leading the way. I think those guys are ready. Then there's no post Steph Curry, Draymond Green era. There's none of that. It's just Yasiel Lindenberg providing a spot. Yasiel Lindenberg will be 25 soon. That's how much. We're investing in this rookie. He's already half of the NBA prime. Well, he's into his NBA. He's going into his NBA prime age, and so to me, Yexil has a lot of upside. He's ready for this moment. And then you get to the Celtics, number 9. The Celtics will always have a good summer league team. I think what Brad Stevens saw is that Brad Stevens saw a team was younger guys that can fill a hole. Dylan Mitchell can fill that hole. Not necessarily what Jaylen Brown can do, because I think Dylan has a lot more growing up to do, but not for me. Being the Celtics fan, I think the future is bright. I think the Celtics honestly are not going to regress. I think the Celtics are the 4th best team in the East. My pick would be honestly my biggest pick would be Philadelphia. If they added LeBron, that's even a bigger boost. And even that, even without LeBron, I still think Philly's one of the best teams in the East. Then you get to New York, and then you get to Detroit. Detroit will have something to say about it, even though they may lose Jalen Duren. If they lose Jalen Duren, then I'm moving the Celtics up to 3rd in the East. I don't think a lot of people believe in the Celtics. Look at Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's going to be ready. He's going to be ready for his moment. I think honestly, he'll be ready for a great NBA season. He's going to be healthy. Guys coming in the fold. Derek White, everybody. I think everybody from top to bottom. Coaching will be up point. You got to know who the coach is. Joe Mazzulla is going to get his guys ready every single night. So if it were me, I think the Boston Celtics are what the 4. I just said the 4th best team in the East. I'm going to keep it that way unless Detroit says bye to Jalen Duren. I didn't even put New York on there because I don't think New York will repeat. I don't think New York has a good team, but I think New York will be the fifth best team in the East. I'm saying this right now on July 16th. I think New York will be the fifth best team in the East come next season. And it'll help them well because New York is the repeated champions and um and it'll take a lot of things to repeat. And then you get to number 10. The teams are pitching to LeBron to join their team. The Spurs, which were out of this, we're not joining their team. We don't want LeBron. To as much as I respect LeBron, I don't want LeBron on the Spurs. Then you get to the Warriors. Steph Curry's like, okay, I want LeBron. Okay, that's fine. Then you get to Cleveland, and Cleveland's not saying anything about it because they just re-signed Donovan Mitchell to a massive contract. They still are interested in James Harden. Let's see, Miami. Miami might as well just kick themselves out because I don't think Miami should be interested. I mean, you already got you already got Giannis. Giannis is doing a press conference right now, um, and then you got Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey has talked to LeBron, so you know, it should make the decision easy. You would think it would be easy, but it really isn't for LeBron. Um, he just said today he's not ready to reveal his new team. It's July 16th. Okay. LeBron will probably make his decision sooner rather than later. They'll probably make an hour news conference about it on Sports Center and say, hey, LeBron has joined the 76ers. Oh, LeBron has joined this team. I don't know where he's going to go. I really don't know. I think everybody on the roster standpoint has their roster set for the 2026-2027 season. I'm not saying LeBron is going to be a free agent. I think teams are going to welcome him with open arms. But if I'm the Spurs, I walk away from this. Unless LeBron's like, oh, I'm most time with the Spurs. Nope. It'll make us instant championship winners because LeBron is a winner. LeBron wants to win. So we're going to recap the Summer League next week. So we got 10 more Summer League headlines that we're going to talk about on Tuesday, July 21st. So we're going to recap that next week because the Summer League ends on July 19th, which is a Sunday. And then for the rest of the NBA's off season, we're going to actually later this month, we're going to recap the NBA press conferences, head coaches, stuff like that. We're going to recap the whole entire offseason on July 26th. Well, excuse me, not July 26th, July 28th. So let's get to the AFC East, the AFC summer session. Training camp is coming here soon. I think training camp for the Hall of Fame teams that are participating in the Hall of Fame game is coming in the next few weeks. I know the Cowboys, we got 12 days. 12 days for the Dallas Cowboys to have a training camp in Oxnard, California. So we will have I'll watch a video every single day, every Cowboys podcast. I will recap the Cowboys sessions as we go. But let's start with the AFC East. So we get to the New York Jets. 3-14 last year, 26 sacks as a team. What does Aaron Glenn need to do in 2026? How does Aaron Glenn get this team to relevancy that any other New York coach could not do? So Aaron Glenn needs a system. He needs a daily system where every goal should be accomplished. He needs a system that every week is a goal setting. Hey, we're going to get sacks this week. Hey, we're going to have our quarterback throw 2 touchdowns. Hey, we're going to have our running back run for 100 yards. Just depends on the defense. You got to challenge your players every single day. You know, they always talk about every great coach talks about the non-negotiables, right? Bring energy, bring heart, bring competitiveness, so that not only you make yourself better, you're making that player better as well. That's how the Jets should see this, because the Jets are they have been competitive in 20 years. Of course, you can say Rex Ryan will strut his chest until the day he's no longer on this earth, God forbid, that, hey, I led the Jets to the AFC Championship game. Where's my ring? You lost. Your quarterback is no longer in existence because your quarterback made a foolish mistake outside last year. So Rex will continue to be upset at the Jets, but yet Aaron Glenn is the right man for the Jets. He will get them to wherever they decide to go, and even Rex Ryan won't give him that respect. Because what has he done? The only coach that's been successful has been Bill Parcells. Bill Parcells bought non-negotiables in the 2000s. That's why the Jets were successful. The Jets right now need a system. They need goal setters. Hit this amount of sacks this week. The quarterback's got to throw more than 2 touchdowns. Then the running back's got to run more than 100 yards. Can they win the AFC East? Those odds remain to be seen. But this is a big year for Geno Smith. Geno Smith no longer has a distraction. He can go out there and ball out. Everybody's predicting 6 wins for the Jets. That'll be a big improvement. But Aaron Glenn's like, hey, can we win at least 9? No, because Geno's not a great quarterback. We know this. Geno may be replaced by game 5. By the 5th game of the season, Geno Smith will be replaced as the New York Jets quarterback. Then you get to number 2, the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots had a great season last year, 14-3, Super Bowl appearance. Drake May, will he rebound from his sacks? He got sacked a lot of times last year. A.J. Brown, he's got to stay focused and engaged. When you go to a new team, it's a new environment. You're no longer a distraction. You're no longer a fool. A.J. Brown was a fool in Philadelphia. Now, what type of leadership is A.J. Brown going to bring? That remains to be seen. That's up to A.J. A.J. wants to bring in leadership to the guys to make his quarterback feel comfortable. There you go. The Patriots saw this as, hey, we need a number 1 target. A.J. Brown's the number 1 target. How much can he produce? We'll see. Now, defense should be legit in 2026 because you want to repeat. Mike Vrabel is putting this scandal behind him. The good thing about this is that it was addressed early. Mike addressed this early. Okay? It didn't linger into the offseason, because if it lingered, then he will probably lose his job. But many people would have said, Mike Vrabel cheated on his wife. Why isn't he on the street? Well, let me tell you. Because it was addressed early. Mike apologized. He got therapy. And now he still has a job with the New England Patriots. I'm not mad at that. Why should you be fired for cheating on your spouse? That's probably one of the stupidest things I ever had. And the New England Patriots want to keep a private eye, kind of like the Spurs. But it was so open out there that the difference is that It was a player's a sister. You talk about a reporter and Diane Rossini. And by the way, a lot of people want to cancel Mike Vrabel and Diane Rossini. Let's no. I think Diane Rossini knows football. She made a mistake. Kind of like Mike made a mistake. Mike took time off. Mike's in the fold, ready to rebound. Then Diana, she's taking time off right now. Probably going to be in the fold soon. I mean, honestly, I want her back on TV. I want her back on TV because I don't think her career is done. I looked at her age. I'm like, okay, your career's not done. A lot of these fools that watch football that have no interest in what you're talking about other than the body itself, because everybody looks at the body. Everybody looks at, they look at the body. Trying to make it sexual here. They look at the body. They don't listen to anything you're saying. You know football. They look at the attractiveness. They look at the body. And they say, why did Mike Vrabel pass that up? Because Mike has a wife. Mike has a family. He has a job to do. Diana knows football. She was on ESPN. She did stuff with Athletic. The reason why is because we don't want our name out there. Diana needs a break. She's going to get that break. And a network out of their caliber will come calling and say, hey, can you do football for us? They got to look at football over private stuff. I know the private stuff comes to light sometimes, but they got to look at her extensive history of great reporting. So, but back to football. I think Mike Vrabel has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to get back to the playoffs. He wants to get back to the Super Bowl. He wants to have his quarterback be part of the conversations that people talk about every single day in 2026. So New England Patriots should be a battle. It should be a battle with the Buffalo Bills, but we'll see. Number 3, you get to the Miami Dolphins. Actually, Miami had a decent season. They went 7-10, decent, because a lot of people were saying, "Hey, this team can win only 3 games." This is Malik Willis' team. Finally, Malik Willis he's been backups at everywhere he's gone. This is his team now. They got Jeff Hatley as the head coach now. You know what the awkward thing is about it is he was the head coach at Boston College up until last season, and then last season he bet on himself to go to the NFL to become their defensive coordinator. He didn't do that bad. Now he's the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, and the Miami Dolphins have their hands full. They have a lot of things they need to correct. They lost Tua, which probably it's not a big deal that they lost Tua. It's not a big deal. You know, Tua wasn't great, but now they look at Malik Willis, healthy quarterback, ready to go. Davion Achane should be a 1,000-yard runner this coming season, and the defense will be ineffective. But there's no hope for Miami. There's no hope for them. I think Jeff Hatley, he's a good man, but he's going to have his hands full with the quarterback and the defense as well. So we'll see where that goes. Everybody's predicting them win 5 games. I think it's going to be a 3-4 win team, and they're probably going to be drafting the first pick in the 2027 draft. And then finally, you get to the Buffalo Bills, 12-5 last year. Joe Brady's their new head coach. Joe Brady's used to the building. He used to be the offensive coordinator. Now he gets a head time role. Josh Allen, will he get them to the Super Bowl? And then the biggest thing is the big year for Keon Coleman. He has to grow up. Could he grow up in 2026? Now, The man hasn't been in trouble, which is a great thing. You haven't been in trouble. There's nothing to do in Buffalo. But he needs to grow up on the field. What a better way to have Dion Dawkins as a veteran to help you out. That's great. So now it's up to him to have a big year. And I think Keon Coleman will have a big 2026 year. He just needs to stay the course, stay focused, have fun safely. Because we know that the NFL season is a grind. We know players get bored. Younger players get bored all the time. We know this. He's still a young player. Going into his, I think it's his third season, fourth season, something like that. I want to see the growth in him because I feel like he could be a number one target one day. And then the number one target, they get a bunch of money. He reminds me of a younger Justin Jefferson, the guy that came into the league that had no idea he was going to be great. And now Justin Jefferson is one of the highest paid receivers in the game right now with no quarterback. Think about that. With no quarterback. He has no quarterback in Minnesota and he's still one of the best in the game. But Keon Coleman has a quarterback in Josh Allen. Now, everybody talks about Josh Allen going to the Super Bowl. Josh Allen has to lead. Every possession, you have all those weapons. Every possession, you have to make it your last. Everything that you do. You're moving away from Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott is not a bad coach. It's just the timing of things that Buffalo wants to get up here. When Buffalo gets up there, then Josh Allen could be one of the best in the game. So, out of all I said about the AFC East, I think honestly, I'm choosing the Buffalo Bills to win the AFC East in 2026. I think they have a complete team. I think the team is healthy. I know that the Dolphins and the Jets won't have anything to say. It's basically a two-team race between Buffalo and New England. So Buffalo will be my pick because Josh Allen is one of the best, and he just has a lot of weapons around him, and the defense will be effective. So we'll see what type of player Josh Allen is going to be in 2026 and what type of head coach Joe Brady is going to be moving forward. Now, we're going to take a break. Coming up next, we got the WNBA. A bunch of headlines from the WNBA, man. We got a bunch from Caitlin Clark to Keandre Carter to the Dallas Wings. So we're going to talk about that on the other side. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.
Murder on the beach, so it's not nice. I'm on the beach, sand in your feet. She only for me. I just brought special sand to the beach. What do you see? Look that way. I need all your energy. Fuck on the beat all day. And it's water like the seas. Check my status, not in the bragging, but you stepping out with a king. Migo don't know Spanish, but my Migo got them things. Now my diamonds buried white, watch it sing. When I put it in your life, you a fiend. Go little mama, when she feel, got her dressing like Rihanna. She see me dressed in Prada, and then she Prada. She drinking Reposada, like it's water. Good drink, then we gon' light the block up with this new chopper. No man, no. Going back and forth, she got it on her. No man, no more broke, nigga, she scream. No man, go little mama when she see it, she say anaconda. Mama, all night to the morning, we just woke the sun up. No sleep, ain't no sleeping, we stay. Yeah, then we got it poppin' like bad bitch with a body like she bad, no sleep, ain't no sleeping, we stay. Yeah, then we got it poppin' like bad bitch with a body like she bad. Yeah, check out the man, para invertir y duplicar. De medallo con los amigos, no andamos haciendo nuevos amigos. Estoy ganando, voy para arriba como Rigo. Ya dejé el oro por las prendas de platino. Yo en el cambio solo que me puse más fino. Whoa, oh, oh. No sleep, ain't no sleeping, we stay whoa, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, and we got it poppin' like whoa, oh, oh. Bad bitch with a body like whoa, oh, oh. She bad, she bad. Whoa, oh, oh. No sleep, ain't no sleeping, we stay whoa, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, and we got it poppin' like whoa, oh, oh. Bad bitch with a body like whoa, oh, oh. She bad, she bad.
I'm the baddest, I'm gonna have it all. I want this one, that one in a week or so. See, I'm a savage, you're gonna have it, I'm gonna hear you go. You're the best, dame más, yeah, papi, I know. Como todo el día, dime qué necesitas. Baby, know that I got it, sabes que soy Anita. Y yo pongo el culo para arriba, style la mantequilla. Mi cuerpo es tu fiesta, no pares, tú espera. Oh, oh, oh. No, you like it when I get low. Yo te como lento, bien slow. How we go, like whoa, oh, she bad, she bad.
Whoa, oh, oh. No sleep, ain't no sleeping, we stay whoa, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, and we got it poppin' like whoa, oh, oh. Bad bitch with a body like whoa, oh, oh. She bad, she bad. Get back.
I see. Girl, you tryna be my wifey. I'ma eat that pussy like it's ice cream. Bet you ain't met a nigga like me.
No need to say what I've been through. He already know what I'm into. He be reading my mind like it's simple. Got him thinking my line like it's his too. Never gotta worry about no issues. You pay it on time when I'm rent due. Made him ice out my neck and the wrist too. Hold down your pussy and your pistol.
Let him know, girl. I see. Girl, you out here tryna be my wifey. I'ma eat that pussy like it's ice cream. Bet you ain't met a nigga like me.
I can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone. Can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone.
Why you tryna leave me alone? I'm a D-boy, you know that come with doing you wrong. Now I'm playing, you should know that we've been in this too long. And all your friends really wish that they was on what we on. Girl, you know I got that deep stroke, that hard skip a beat stroke. That put us both to speech stroke, forget about on me, bro. Serious as they come on, play no jokes. Middle of the winter, I get that, that's a heat stroke. Yeah.
I see. Girl, you out here tryna be my wifey. I'ma eat that pussy like it's ice cream. Bet you ain't met a nigga like me.
I can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone. Can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone.
Jack Rabbit when he put the dick in it. How you nut and you barely put the tip in it. 60 seconds got him gone, it's a quick minute. He ain't never felt some pussy with some grip in it. Hair done, nails done like a bad bitch. Broke niggas tell me to a savage. Can't fuck him if he average. Way more bad than your last bitch.
I can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone. Can't leave him alone. Try to change my ways, but the dope boy turned me on. Trap niggas know what I want. So caught up that I can't leave him alone.
I swear we not trying. Hey, yo, fool, let's go grab homegirl from the front, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause, I'ma need it right here. Get back.
I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to fuck something up. I need some drink in my cup. Hey, I'm in the mood to fuck something up. I wanna go missing. I need a prescription. I wanna go higher. Can I sit on top of you? I wanna go where nobody's been.
love. Don't miss this roll call. Did you hear a word? Show up, show up, show up, show up. Go up, go up. You Mr. Nasty. I clean it up. Go where nobody's been. Go where nobody's been. Have you ever had fun like this? Ever had fun? I wanna go missing. I need a prescription. I wanna go higher. Gonna sit on top of you. We gon' fuck up the night. Black lights. Spaceship's fine. Unapologetic when we fuck up the night. Fuck up the night. We getting fucked up tonight. We gon' fuck up the night. See far. Let you see stars. Let you elevate. Let you meet God. I feel like falling in love. I'm in the mood to fuck something up. We gon' fuck up the night. Sonic, sexy, erotic on my body. Boy, you got it. Hit them hydraulics while I ride it. Got me acting hella thotty. So excited, so exotic. I'm a seasoned professional. Squeeze it, don't let it go. Tease it, no self-control. I got time today. I got time today. I got time. Oh, I got time today. I can't wait to come out and play. Ooh, yeah, you. Come and cup it, baby. While I bust it for you, baby. Anywhere, anytime, I don't mind. Yeah, for you. I'm back in the truck. For you. Took it fucked up. For you. I put my cup up. For you. We gon' fuck up the night. Take flight. Blinding lights. Fuck it up. Let you see stars. Let you go far. Let you levitate. Let you meet God. Yeah. We gon' fuck up the night. Spaceship's fly. Fuck it up.
We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't laugh anymore. What was all of it for? Oh, we don't talk anymore like we used to do. I just heard you found the one you've been looking for. I wish I would have known that wasn't me. 'Cause even after all this time I still wonder why I can't move on just the way you did so easily. Don't wanna know the kind of dress you're wearing tonight. If he's holding on to you so tight, the way I did before. I overdosed. Should've known your love was a game. Now I can't get you out of my brain. Oh, it's such a shame. But we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't laugh anymore. What was all of it for? Oh, we don't talk anymore like we used to do.
I just hope you're lying next to somebody who knows how to love you like me. There must be a good reason that you're gone. Every now and then I think you might want me to come show up at your door, but I'm just too afraid that I'll be wrong. Don't wanna know if you're looking into her eyes. She's holding on to you so tight, the way I did before. I overdosed. Should've known your love was a game. Now I can't get you out of my brain. Oh, it's such a shame.
But we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't laugh anymore. What was all of it for? Oh, we don't talk anymore like we used to do. Like
dress you're wearing tonight. If you're skimming into you just right, the way I did before.
I overdosed. Should've known your love was a game. Now I can't get you out of my brain.
Oh, it's such a shame that we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't love anymore. What was all of it for? Oh, we don't talk anymore like we used to do. We don't talk
Oh, it's such a shame.
we don't talk anymore.
Welcome back to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. Jamie here again. So, this WNBA has been a lot of drama over the last month. And so, oh gosh, we're here to break it down because this drama, I never seen it happen in 30 years of watching the league grow inside and out. Every day is a headline. Every day from on-court stuff to in between press conferences and then off the court stuff. You know, a lot of people have opinions about, Caitlin Clark, including a guy in the studio, not this new guy, but there's a guy in the studio that's a big Caitlin Clark fan that I keep telling him yesterday, Caitlin's very fragile and she's just not a leader. I just don't see it. But many people see that she's a leader of the league, and honestly, I really don't see it. So here's what I'm going to say. So we get to number one, the Fever. They dominate everywhere they go. They recently went 2-1 on their road trip. The loss came to the Sparks, which only Caitlin Clark scored 9 points. They rested Aaliyah Boston that game. And then the next day, they played Phoenix Mercury. They won that game. A hard-fought win. Caitlin Clark rested that game. Aaliyah Boston played. So, with that being said, the good thing about this Fever team is that Kelsey Mitchell says, screw this drama, let me focus on me. Kelsey Mitchell in the last 7 games plus has scored over 20-plus points. This is why the Fever are alive right now. Because the girl can do everything. No matter the age, no matter the game, she can do everything. That's why the Fever are alive. It's not about Caitlin Clark. It's about Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell, 7 straight games, has averaged 21 a game. And nobody in Indiana and these Lions and Warriors are giving Kelsey Mitchell the credit she deserves. It's all about number 22. It's all about this. Why? Do you know that Kelsey can win the MVP one day? Do you know that it could be this year? Could be. But no. It's all about 22. What does 22 want? What does 22 need? And then, by the way, speaking of number 22, Caitlin crashed out. Again. We're not talking about last night. We're talking about overall. Actually, let's talk about last night. Well, actually, I'm gonna add last night's issue into the conversation. We have a problem here, guys. Last week, 11 Republicans made a fake bill to give to the commissioner of the WNBA, saying you need to protect Caitlin Clark. Caitlin's the face of the league. You need to do something to protect her because we're tired of seeing her knocked down. We're tired of seeing her punched in the face. 11 lawmakers, Republicans, that have nothing to do in this life, made up a fake bill protecting one player because that one player is going to be the face of that league. She's not. You're wasting your time. It's sad. It's sad that no one is mad about this. Everybody wants to sign their signature and say, you know what? We got to protect Caitlin Clark. For what? She signed up for this. She's ready. If she does not want to get hit, then leave. Leave the league. But we always talk about how stronger she is, and she's fragile. Fragile. Like glass. She don't care. 11 lawmakers, all Republicans, say, let's protect Caitlin Clark. Let's get the commissioner to do something about this. Why? If I'm the commissioner, I throw it away. I will throw it away. But then again, the commissioner says, oh, I want money to produce a link. The money does not get you views. You know what gets you views? Adding more teams. You know what gets you more views? Expanding rosters. Games. Black head coaches get you views. Instead of lawmakers that don't want to improve this country, that have a lot of things on their agenda on this bullshit. How about you write a bill that cuts down gas prices? How about you write a bill that cuts down crime? How about you write a bill that cuts down food? How about you write a bill that gives everybody access to anything that they need? Instead of one player that is not the face of the league. Has she won anything? The face of the league should be A'ja Wilson. A'ja Wilson, look at the history. Look it up right now. A'ja Wilson has won not four championships. What is it? Oh, 3 championships. A'ja Wilson has won 4 Defensive Player of the Year, which it will increase over time. A'ja Wilson has been all first WNBA Probably by the time she came into the league, so that's probably what, 9 times? What has Caitlyn won? Nothing. But yet, you make her the face of the league. And now you got stupid lawmakers saying, oh, Kathy, can you do something about this? Why? Why? If you really care about the players, you throw that bill in the trash. They say you have the 24th to respond. Why? No. Throw it in the trash. Because we don't need it. You are the owner, the commissioner of a multi-million-dollar franchise. Own it. There's threats out there that Alyssa Thomas is getting. There's threats out there that Chelsea Gray got. Chelsea Gray got threats. Yes, to the point where this idiot that's working at the hotel got fired. And so now we talked about your social media is going to come to light, right? He wrote that. Chelsea Gray posted that. Got upset about it, which every right you should be upset about. Somebody calling you out of your name. That person was fired from their job because of that. And now that person, we don't care what they do. How do you become this stupid? How do you pay? What is your next best opportunity? Right? Because everybody sees this. The lower ends of the job sees this. Even going back to school to further your education, it will help you, but it won't help the pass. You said this about a player. The player posted it. And now she's fired. Now that person's fired. Only because Chelsea Gray made a move on Caitlin Clark to the point where Caitlin was hurt. Caitlin was not hurt. That was a good basketball play. So, to me, she's getting the benefit of the cause. To me, it's annoying. And last night, it set me off a little bit. Because last night, let me tell you, and we'll have more Caitlin Clark stuff on Tuesday, obviously. Do you know last night that Caitlin went off on the official? We don't know what the official, or I can't remember her name. Black official, right? Black woman. Now, they always say Caitlin Clark's racist. Listen, to each his own. I think she is. Let's call it for what it seems. I think she is. Okay? You can't come to a black official and throw your arms up, and then you go to the official's face, and the official, to her credit, is not reacting, is not yelling at you, having a civil conversation with you, and you're yelling in her face. What type of nonsense is this? This is all shown on TV, all over the internet. And that official could have reacted. Well, that official said, I'm going to give you a warning. Why? Just get her out of the game. That's how you make your noise. Get her out of the game. But then again, if that official would have got her out of the game, she'll be called names for days. They'll look up her phone number. They'll trash her social media. They'll look for her because she knows what that is. She knows that the WNBA does not protect its black players. We know this. She knows that. That's why she didn't blow the whistle, because she knows the backlash of it. And so, What do you do when a player's throwing her arms up? What do? You take it in, you be civil, that's that. Now, that's an ejectable offense. If Angel Reese did it, if Aaliyah Boston did it, if Nafisa Carter, my girl, did it, they'll be out of the game right now. Caitlin Clark is not in the game. Caitlin Clark gets the benefit of the calls, and we know the backlash of it, and it's not fair. It is not fair that anytime a player messes with Caitlin, somebody's always going to get hurt. The league does nothing to protect Alyssa Thomas. The league has done nothing to protect Chelsea Gray. It was their teams that did it. The Aces did it. The Aces, they made statements. I think making statements right now is the stupidest thing we could have done as a nation. I think it's stupid. Because making statements means that you haven't cured the problem. People are going to still call it out of your name. People are going to still trash your venues. People are going to say whatever they want online. It's going to get a lot worse. So making statements will make it a lot worse. Now, they didn't do the right thing. They did not do the right thing. Because camera-wise, go on camera and protect your player. They don't do that. They will never do that. So, and then, excuse me. You know what the other weirdest part is? We got Sophie Cunningham's UFC appearance. So this was UFC 329 this past Saturday, where she was the ring girl. Now, sexual-wise, white girls are like, oh, white people, oh, Sophie Cunningham is there. She's the ring girl. Oh, Sophie Cunningham, she can wear wherever she wants. She's not doing anything provocative. She's not doing anything wrong. She's doing her job. They asked her to be a ring girl. A lot of men would have said, black and white, Mexican, would say, we're okay with Sophie Cunningham. She's white. She looks great. Let me tell you something. If Angel Reese did it, if Aaliyah Boston did it, if Candace Parker did it, all black women, do you realize the internet, including black men, this black man will celebrate will celebrate Angel Reese every day, all day long. Looking like if Angel Reese looked like that, dressed like that at, let's say, what's the best black event out there? Essence or whatever. Then I have no problem with it. I will not have a problem with it. But the other people would. They'll say, Angel Reese, you look like garbage. Why would you dress like that? My daughter would never dress like you. Oh, black men will say that too. They'll say the same thing. Oh, my gosh. You talk about protecting black women. Well, there you go. Angel Reese will dress like that. Sophie, you didn't have a problem with Sophie Cunningham dressed like that. Why do you have a problem with us dressing like what Sophie Cunningham dressed at USC? We know that majority of that is Republican-led because that's their sport. But, listen, Sophie Cunningham, I was surprised. Sophie Cunningham did her thing. That's that. But we shouldn't have a problem with the other side, was my kind, dressing like that. And then you get to Ty Harris, the last and final thing. Ty Harris was ready for a moment. Ty Harris was all over the place. 15 points, 5 assists against the Phoenix Mercury. Literally won the game. That's the game that Caitlin Clark did not play. Now, the Fever have an issue. Now they're going more Ty Harris over Raven Johnson. It showed last night because Ty Harris is a veteran. Ty Harris knows what this is all about. Knows how to control the game, knows how to manage it, keeps the Fever in the game. That's part of the reason why the Fever are another reason why they're in it. Not because of Kelsey Mitchell, because of Kelsey Mitchell scoring, but because of Ty Harris. Ty Harris feels so comfortable in that second unit. So, the Fever have a lot of drama here. I had to investigate more because we're adding Caitlin Clark's antics to part of the first half of the WNBA season. That's a big storyline. So we'll see. Then you get to the second one, Kennedy Carter's release. Now everybody was surprised that she got released last week. After the show, it was announced that Kennedy Carter was released from the Aces. They went ahead and signed Tanisha Latin and Justine Pesca. Now, I was not surprised. Jamie, why weren't you surprised? Because this was business. It doesn't matter the scoring. It doesn't matter what she could provide on the court. This was not showing up to work. You got to show up to work to give yourself an opportunity. That is the problem with Kennedy Carter. Kennedy Carter was not invested in what the Aces were running. Everybody says, well, we're surprised. No, I'm not surprised. This was business. Doesn't matter what you can do on the court. It matters what you do off it. You got it. This is business. This is a business decision to the point where the Aces are a championship-winning organization that, hey, she's being a distraction. Asia Wilson called this. Hey, she's being a distraction. Can we get rid of the distraction and focus on the task at hand? We have a chance to repeat. We got to get rid of the distraction. Kennedy Carter was a distraction. They got rid of it. So, what happens now? As of last week, she has not been signed. But we need to be honest. We talk about mental health. We talk about player development. We need to be honest with Kennedy Carter. We need to tell her, you need to go get help. You need help. This issue started in college. This issue started at Texas A&M to the point where Gary Blair was losing patience. Gary Blair said, I am tired of this player. I want her off my team. Which, yes, you got her off the team. Goes to the draft. Okay, she's drafted. The dream. There was issues there. Was Renee Montgomery, which someone told me the story about the other day. The Sparks. Released there. The Ace, the Chicago Sky. Released there. Goes overseas. Plays for 2 teams overseas. Oh, I want to come back to the WNBA because I'm host SIP. Okay, fine. When you go overseas, you're forgotten. That's the problem that people realize. When you go overseas as a WNBA player, you're literally forgotten. She comes home. Teresa Weatherspoon has a job for her. It says, hey, I want you to team up with my former teammate Becky Hammond. She's one of the best coaches in the game. Which Becky Hammond is one of the best coaches in the game, by the way. So she is. So she goes to the Ace. She goes to the Aces. Does well there. She's averaging 12 points a game. She does well. People were thinking, hey, she can win 6 Women of the Year. Then you miss a bunch of games. and then you're complaining about lineup issues, and then you're complaining about someone's social media stuff. It's a lot. AJ Wilson was like, "Hey, Becky, organization, we need to cut ties with her. We got a lot of good players out there that we want to bring on." And oddly enough, they brought in Justine Prescott and Tanisha Latin. Tanisha Latin is on development. Justine Prescott will play. The Fever drafted her. They're like, "Oh, we're not going to match this. We're going to send her to the Aces." Perfect. It worked out because Justine came out and scored 17 points in her first game against the Phoenix Mercury. So now you're really not missing much from Kennedy Carter. It's just the player wasn't interested. The player did not want to expand her role, did not want to sacrifice. It's all about sacrifice. It's all about sacrificial. You got it. In order to win a championship, you got to sacrifice your well-being. You got to sacrifice. You got to say, you know what? I'm going to put my pride to the side, and I'm going to be invested in one of the best organizations in WNBA history, in the Las Vegas Aces. I'm going to be there every single day. That's what Kennedy Carter has failed to miss. You got to be there every single day because this league is a revolving door. People come in, people go out, people come in, people go out. It's every single day someone's making headlines to release this player, to get this player, to sign this player. Someone gets a standard contract. Hey, another player's on development. There's a lot of opportunities in the WNBA, but there's not a lot of roster spots to get to secure them. So I don't know where Kennedy Carter goes. I'm having a hard time of where she's going because we should scream help instead of indicating, oh, Kennedy Carter will work best for this team. Why am I going back to the dream when I'm already loaded? Oh, she'll work best for the Fever. Why am I going to the Fever when you knocked down one of the best players in the game? Or better yet, we just drafted a guard. We don't need you. Every team, including the worst team in the league in the Connecticut Sun, have their team set. There's no room for Kennedy Carter. Believe it or not. There's no room for her. Tell her, go get help. It's bigger than basketball. And I hate to say that because I want players to focus on basketball. I hate to say that, but it is what it is. You need help. No teams. You need help. That's it. Then you get to number 3, the Dallas Wings. They have won 5 straight. And the breaking news about it is that the Dallas Wings are not playing tonight because the New York Liberty they're having mechanical issues on their plane. So that's a safety issue. So obviously I think they've been in New York since Monday. So they're having issues. So they have rescheduled that game for Monday. So now you have the Sparks coming in on Sunday afternoon game that turns to a early Monday night game, probably on Peacock or whatever channel it is. So now you got 4 games on Monday instead of on Tuesday. You have an off day. Why can't you play on Tuesday? They put the game on. It went from Thursday to Monday night. So now the Wings are playing back-to-back. Instead of having 2 days off, the Wings get an extra 2 days off. So now the Wings haven't played since Sunday. And so now they get the whole entire week off. And they're going to be, oh my gosh, they're going to be ready to go. The Wings are going to be ready. They won 5 straight, so they're going to be ready to go now. Wow, that's crazy. so, we'll see. But, anyways, let's talk about their 5-game winning streak. The Dallas Wings are 16-8, guys. They went on 22-2 run against the Liberty. That's last Tuesday's game. And then Paige had help. Paige has had help the last 3 games. Jessica Shepard had a triple-double, 22 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists against the Liberty. Jessica Shepard against the Toronto Temple had 20 points and 17 rebounds. She played all 40 minutes. And then you get to the Chicago Sky. Paige Beckers had 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists. Lee Giroux defending the rim really well that game. So there's development in Lee's game. Lee's an in-and-out player to the point where Lee needs to find identity. It's tough to find it, but she's going to find it one day. And so Paige has help. We're getting, like I told you last week, we're getting healthier. We're getting stronger. This a bunch of games, it will be a week that we have not played. And it'll be an early Sunday game on, I think it's on ABC this coming Sunday. So the advantage is us because we haven't played since Sunday night against the Chicago Sky. And now the league has canceled this game. So now we get an extra 3 days of rest, including tonight, because tonight was supposed to be the game, but then they moved that game to Monday. So now we got 3 games. We got 3 All-Stars, and Paige Beckers, Jessica Shepard, and I forgot the third one. Oh, AZ's not an All-Star, excuse me. We got 2 All-Stars, and Paige and Jessica Shepard that are going to play these last 3 games, and I will manage Paige's activity in this next 3, including the last one next Wednesday, because here's the thing. Everybody will want to talk to Paige Beckers. Everybody. Paige will have interviews from Friday to Saturday night. I'm like, we got to protect our asset. Our asset is Paige Beckers. You get to, I worry when we get to the All-Star game, I worry how many interviews Paige has to do. Paige has to do this interview. Paige has to go do that interview. On top of it, she's got to go practice. So where's the rest? Where is the rest for our superstar player that's going to lead us to the playoffs and potentially beyond? These reporters do not give players any rest in the All-Star. I'm not looking for Cheryl or Becky to give our players less minutes. I don't care about that. I really don't care. Okay? What I care about is the amount of rest that Paige needs. You have played heavy minutes in the last 2 weeks. Okay? I'll be damned. I will be all over the place. I'll be mad at this guy. I'll be mad at that guy over there if Paige Beckers gets hurt. If Paige Beckers gets hurt, I'm going to be mad at this guy. I'm going to be mad at the guy out there. I can't allow my superstar to get hurt like this. Jose, you realize what type of player Paige Beckers is. You've seen it. Give her the respect that she needs. I know she wants to play, but reduce her minutes because she knows she's going to be playing on Saturday. Fuck. Because that's going to hurt us in the long run. If she goes down, like I said, I'm going to be mad at somebody. And then we defended the rim. 50%. we defended the rim, like I said. Lee Uru was great against the Chicago Sky. And then Enrique had 20.7 rebounds, 7 assists against the Toronto Timber. That's one of her best games. And I have an issue was dapping it up was Marina. And I'll say this. I understand you have a great friendship with Marina. You went to the same college together. I get it. You have a great relationship. However, what I don't get is that you have to make sure that you don't make that a distraction. That is a distraction at its finest because I don't want that to be the main thing. We're winning right now. They're not. They're not winning. Toronto may make the playoffs, but they're not winning right now. I don't want you to dap up do it after the buzzer. After the buzzer, not during the possession. Do it after the buzzer. That eliminates your focus because we're struggling right now, Enrique. You're struggling right now. When's the last time you shot over 50% in a game? You're struggling. We need you. They're out of it. They don't care. They're damaged. They're hurt. The only thing that's going for the Temple is Marina. That's the only thing going for them. Don't dap up your form. Do it after the buzzer. You haven't shot more than 50% in what? In a month. That shows me the downside of your career right there. Right there, you have no care in the world. We're trying to win a championship, not trying to be best buddies for life. And then you fought against the Temple in the Sky, so which, again, they were hard-fought wins. The Temple game was a double-digit game, which we came back from. This is Chicago Sky. Even though it was a double-digit game, we still fought to the end. So those are great wins. The downside is we got to work on our second unit. What will fit best in the second unit? Do we need to add Alicia Clark? Do we need to add Lee Uru on there? Do we need to add Odyssey Sims? Because Odyssey Sims can give us something in that second unit, along with Azure James. Elena Smith is not playing right now, so now we got to probably upgrade someone, maybe a Haley Jones. Let's see what we can do. Interchange it. You got time to think about it now. Let's see what happens. That's really going to be our kryptonite. Our kryptonite is going to be our second unit. Let's see what type of rest Paige gets or AZ gets. I know AZ and Enrique, AZ I know AZ will be great in the second half of the season. So AZ will be great. And then we got 5 straight wins. So let's say we win the next 3, right? That's the Sparks, Liberty, and I think that's the Valkyries. I think that's the last game before the All-Star break. Or maybe the Portland Fire, something like that. I think it's the Portland Fire. But if we win the next 3, that's 8 straight wins. We go to the All-Star break with high emotions, high flying, everything. Jose Hernandez will be my coach, my 3rd coaching candidate. He's not the coach of the year. The coach of the year will be Cheryl Reeves. You played basically the first half without your MVP in the face of Collard, and you're winning, and you have won 19 games, and Olivia Miles is a Rookie of the Year runaway. You deserve the award because you had to manage without your MVP. And so Jose will be my 3rd candidate. My other candidate will be Cheryl Reeves, my first one. Natalie Lasaka, she could really coach. And then Jose would be my 3rd candidate. So we'll see. We'll see if Jose can really fix this thing. I'm hoping he will, but we'll see. Then you get to number 4. Reagan Peaby's fired as the GM of the Sparks. What happened? The Sparks are, 10-13 right now, hanging on for dear life, fighting with the Washington Mystics for the last and final playoff spot. They fired Reagan Peavy the other day out of the blue. We didn't know. And so now there's guys named Nate Nilsson and Zach Noentin. They're sharing duties. This is a mess for disaster. Why don't you just make Nneka Ogwumike the GM? Nneka knows the team. Why don't you make her the GM? Or better yet, player/GM. We never had a player/GM in the WNBA. Miss President can do it all. She knows the type of player she knows organizational skills. We don't need two men to share those duties. We don't need them because that puts the coach's job at risk, which, by the way, I was thinking that Lynn Roberts will be fired along with Reagan Peavy. To fix that franchise, you have to know what you're doing from the coaching standpoint to business. Reagan did not know what she was doing. I knew this was going to be a failure from the beginning. You can't hire someone who does not have a business degree. Kind of like you can't hire somebody that doesn't have a college education. Maybe you could, but it depends what type of job you get. Reagan Peavy had no business experience. Reagan Peavy, the reason why she brought those players in is because they're veterans. She had help on the side. So if she went to business school, got her MBA, then you'll make smart business decisions. You will get a real WNBA head coach. And Lynn Roberts is not a real WNBA head coach. Lynn Roberts is a college coach to her credit. She has not won anything in the WNBA. Why are people saying she's going to win something one day? She's not. She's not. Lynn Roberts should have gone the same way Reagan should have been gone as well. Reagan failed at TCU. Reagan failed as a Wings broadcaster because she was not focused on the game. I heard this. I watched it. I'm not saying she's a bad person. I'm just saying when you get fired like that, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I improve on? When Mike Brown got fired in Sacramento, even though Sacramento was dead wrong, Mike Brown said, I got to look myself in the mirror and say, what can I do better? Look at it. He gets the Knicks job, and look at them now. They're champions. It's all about looking yourself in the mirror. Reagan Peavy needs to look at herself. What happened at TCU? Okay? What happened with the Dallas Wings as a broadcaster? What can I have done, or what can I have said better to keep that job? Look at the Sparks. You failed. What could I have done better with the Sparks that I could have done better with whatever high school or success you had in your life as a player? What would have done better? Look at Teresa Weatherspoon now. Do you know Teresa Weatherspoon is chomping at the bits for a WNBA job? They would not give it to her because, we saw what happened in Chicago. That's Chicago. But everybody looks himself up in the mirror and says, hey, I failed. That's everybody. That's this podcast. I look at the shorts that I have done, and I always tell myself, what could I have done better? What could I have said better to the point where it connects? Reagan needs to look at herself in the mirror before any job is given to her and says, hey, what could I have done better to make this a winnable franchise? The Sparks were supposed to make the playoffs. They were supposed to be better than their record. Right now, they're not. The losses are creeping in. The fans are getting frustrated. There's no hope. Cam Brick has missed, and I'm not play. I don't blame players' injuries on the GM. I blame players' injuries on it just happened. I also blame Cam Brink. What are you putting in your body that's causing you these random injuries? That's the only player that's been hurt. Everybody else has been playing. Kelsey Plum, she got hurt, 2 weeks ago or last month? I mean, honestly, if I'm Kelsey Mitchell, I don't participate in the All-Star game. I missed a month. I'm going to miss nearly a month come next month. Next week. I'm not playing the All-Star game if I'm her. It gives me an extra time to see whatever playoff chances the Sparks have. So, for me, a percentage of the Sparks playoff chances are about 47%. Not bad. I think the Mystics will fold in the second half of the season. The Mystics have a chance to solidify that playoff spot. They have a chance. I think honestly you got 1 through 7 locked right now. I could be wrong. Somebody can go on a 5-game losing streak, or maybe 6 games, and they can be out of it. Like the Dream, to their credit, they have won back-to-back games. Well, actually, they have won 2 of the last 3. The Dream need to stay consistent. Also, the Sparks need to stay consistent because I see the improvement the Sparks have made ever since they got rid of Rigged People. It makes the team play a little bit better because the losses kept going and there was no end in sight. So they had to make a move, and even though it wasn't the right decision, they had to make the right decision. And then you get to number 5. The last and final piece of this is Cheryl Reeves is the winningest coach in the WNBA. Cheryl Reeves right now has 382 wins as the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx. 382. So what? She won 380, 381, 382, 383 last night. So the team has won 5 straight games? 4 straight games? Something like that. 400's next. We don't know if she's going to get it next year or actually, yeah, they have 17 games. So if it's 19-6 right now, she could probably, if they win the next 17, she could probably get it. But I think she'll fall short. But that's all right because she will get it next year. And honestly, she's about to hit 60, so we don't know how much time she has left to coach. You know, normally we've never seen a 70-year-old woman. It's different between men and women, but I think she can coach up until 70. And that way, she has the all-time wins. She can win another championship this year with Olivia Miles in it. Now, she has the best staff in basketball. You have Lindsay Whalen, you have Rebecca Brunson, you have Janelle McCarville, all former WNBA players on your staff, along with Eric Talbot, who, by the way, people are. I'm saying he will not get he will not the way he damaged the Washington Mystics franchise is pretty bad, but I'm not expecting he'll get another job. I think he'll stay there, but she has one of the best staffs in basketball. And then you get to 4 titles. 4 titles in a period of 2010s through 2019s. 4 titles in that span. And then you get Caller, Nafisa Caller could be back soon. We're hitting at what, July 16th is today. So my girl, honestly, I want her to, my preference is after the All-Star break. That gives you enough time to, the team has 19 wins, right? The team could easily be the number one seed coming out of the gate. Easily. You got Rookie of the Year candidate in Olivia Miles, not even a candidate at this point, a runaway. You got Kayla McBride, who's balling out. Natasha Howard, All-Star, balling out. You know, Nia Coffey's having one of her best seasons. Courtney Williams is continuing to improve every game. I mean, Minnesota can't miss a beat. The only problem is their bench. They got to improve their bench. And honestly, if I'm looking at who I can get, I'm looking at Skylar Diggins. Skylar can come in and provide some rest for Olivia Miles or Courtney Williams. Skylar's a better shooter than Courtney Williams. You talk about all-around players, Skylar Diggins is better. But you got to convince her to come off the bench. If August 2nd, that's the trade deadline, passes by, Minnesota, they probably won't miss a beat. But if Minnesota can get a player like Skylar Diggins, they're winning the championship regardless. But I would say for Skylar Diggins, fits well with the Aces. So we'll see. And then they make plays all over the place. Shooting, playing defense. They're not the best shot blocking team in the league, but they make it by their perimeter play. They can really guard the perimeter. And then they're consistent. They don't lose. They don't go on losing streaks. They're very consistent with their play. So this team's going to be tough to beat. In the second half of the season, they're going to be really tough to beat. What scared me last night was Olivia Miles going down with an injury. That scared me. Because Olivia Miles has been playing a lot of these games. She recently just came out from a calf injury, so you gotta watch out that calf a little bit because again, I worry about players not getting rest. I worry that when they step on that court All-Star game, I think there is a risk for injury. And even though Cheryl Reeves is coaching, I think it'll be an advantage that Olivia Miles will be resting. But you don't want to mess up your appearance. You don't want to mess up your appearance, your one and only appearance, because you don't want to mess that up. Because Olivia Miles is there for the first time. You don't want to mess that up. Olivia Miles does not want to mess that up, along with Kayla McBride, along with Natasha Howard. I think they'll be resting. And it gives the other teams an advantage because everybody will be playing. But then again, you got to find rest where there's some type of downplay. There's type of downplay. And Courtney Williams will be all over the Twitch thing. You know, you'll be walking around, interview guys. That's another thing that'll be annoying about it, is that even though, you know, you're going to be walking around, even though I worry. I worry, but then again, I shouldn't be worried because it's none of my business. And and I want a great, productive All-Star weekend. That's what I want. But Olivia Miles, runaway Rookie of the Year, Kayla McBride's balling now. Nafisa's coming back soon. I want her to come back after the All-Star break. That way, she's fully locked in. Now, before we leave today, I got to discuss this incident with Benaj and Lanny Hamilton, who may have gotten fined. Now, she threw a shoe at Marina Mayberry, which, by the way, I call BS because She said she was trying to pass it back to Marina, to JJ, because that was JJ's shoot that she threw. But no, they have history during the game. Marina may have said some things, and Benaje took it to her own hands and said, "Hey, you're not going to mess with my character." That's the problem. That's what Benaje said. Benaje has not played in the last week or so, so you gotta understand the frustration of what she's going through. When you've been playing on a championship-winning team, and your coach has put you on do not plays and then do DNPs for the last week or so, it means that, and you come back, you're playing because if someone's injured, the competitor side comes in. And that's what happened with Benaje. The ultra competitive side came in, and she started to get upset, and that's where that happened. So, basically, the Liberty need her. The Liberty need a Benaje Laney for the second half of the season, because that way, that increases their chances of making a championship run at its finest. So, the team needs a run. They need Benaje Laney to be invested. That's the key, to be invested in their playoff run. Because, like I said before, the Liberty have lost 3 straight. They're trying to keep their playoff positioning alive. There's no way they're going to go into the All-Star break looking like this. There's no way. So, that's it for my show today, guys. Now, next week, we're going to recap the Summer League, and we're going to talk about the NFC South. So let's see what the Panthers, let's see what the Saints, let's see what the Buccaneers are doing. Let's see what the Falcons are doing as well. They got new quarterbacks. Let's see that. And then let's recap the WNBA in its entirety. Let's do the first half of the season along with the storylines of the past week. We got the Dallas Wings storylines. We got the Fever storylines. We got players. We got the Washington Mystics storyline. So we're going to tap in and see what they're doing because they're fighting for a playoff spot. And let's see who's your candidates for Coach of the Year. Let's bring that to you next week. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcasts at, and I'll see y'all next week. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.